Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today we're going to be talking about Strawberry, my pure moral Leachianus. I haven't made a video on her in 7 months, which is way too long. She deserves an update. She's growing a lot and has some interesting stuff happening with her. So today we're going to be showing her off and what she's been like, and this little cute tail, of course. Now, if you didn't know, Strawberry is my only Leachianus and my first Leachianus. I got her back in September and she weighed 22 grams, so she was a little bit of a juvenile, pretty small though. And from September to December, she grew 17 grams. So, you know, in 3 to 4 months, she put on 17 grams, which is pretty good growth. So she was 39 grams in December when you last saw her. Now, from December to April, which is when I weigh next, so about 4 to 5 months, or 4.5-ish months, she put on only 6 grams. And I was starting to get a little bit worried about her because she wasn't eating, or she was very rarely, maybe like once a week. And she just wasn't growing that fast, and I was getting a little bit worried about her. But now, from April to June, so only 2 months, right? Keep this in mind. In 2 months, she's almost doubled in size. She's over 75 grams now. I'd tend to guess that she's somewhere in the 80s range. So she's doubled in size in the last 2 months and tripled in size since I first got her, more than tripled. And she's getting to be quite the big girl. She's pretty thick. And as you can see, her beautiful pattern is continuing to develop very nicely. I thought her pattern might originally turn out to be pink, but it looks like typical of the Moros that it's going to stay white with all the little black spots. And it might be kind of hard to tell because she's fired down, but she's starting to get a nice little white patterning, like a little white V shape down her spine. And you can actually really see her spine like that when she's sitting like this. She's kind of sitting in a weird position. Both of her feet are grabbed onto my pinky, and she's staring over here into nowhere land. But she's starting to get like a upside down V on her spine, which is pretty cool. And she's kind of fired down. She's got a little bit of misfiring going on though. She was a little bit cranky when I took her out, which is the first time I've experienced this, but she croaked at me. So that was kind of interesting. But I've never been bitten by her. You know, I was always a little bit afraid to grab her out of her cage because, you know, Leachies as they get older can be a little bit more territorial of their cage. But so far she's been quite wonderful actually, and I enjoy handling her just because she's bigger. She's the biggest gecko I have now, besides Fall, who's roughly 70 grams too, and is a crested gecko, so she's quite large. But as far as size-wise goes, she's getting very long. Leachianuses get a lot longer than crested geckos do. I'm going to see if I can gently unfold her here. So she's quite long and slender. Her eyes are still very small, but she's got that cute little yellow eye ring. But you can see how flappy her skin is here on her neck and like on her body. They're just like these big fluffy balls of gecko. But you can see that this pattern is just beautiful. I haven't actually seen her fired up, to be honest, and I don't know what she looks like, but she also is getting these like big black spots. Like you can see that one in the white pattern there. She has a couple more on her other side, but for the most part, she's just a pretty chill gecko. And actually, I'm really glad that I bought a Leachianus because I'm really enjoying keeping her. Now, she could get quite large in the future here, like I expect she will. I'm not 100% sure that she's a female either, but I'm just guessing just because of how big she is. No signs of being a male yet, but I'm guessing that she's going to get quite large in the future here just because of how much she's eating. She's actually eating close to 3 to 4 grams of food every other day or every 2 days, depending on when I'm feeding. So she's eating a lot of food, and she doesn't look like she's getting overweight. She just looks like a growing Leachianus. But you can see just how wrinkly and cool they look. If you're thinking about getting a Leachianus, I would definitely recommend it. I mean, you don't have to buy a really expensive one. You can get just a cheaper juvenile like this, and they can bring you lots of joy. But I think they're very nice geckos overall. Hopefully, this little update on Strawberry was somewhat interesting. I'm just excited to see how much she grows here in the next couple months. And hopefully, she ends up being a big Leachianus one day. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.